Welcome to another Simple Dad iPhone tutorial. In this video, I want to show you 10 cool tips on how to use your dynamic island on your iPhone 14 Pro and the Pro Max. If you're new here, please subscribe to see more videos like this and don't forget to like this video. So the iPhone 14 Pro and the Pro Max are the latest flagship devices from Apple that come with numerous unique and new features. One of the most unique features is a dynamic island. So the dynamic island is a software feature that uses a new display cutout to offer a new way to interact with your device, for example, incoming notifications or live activities. So let me share with you 10 tips on how you can use the dynamic island. So let's begin with the first one, which is gesture control. Gesture can help you dismiss, bring back, and switch between multiple activities on your iPhone. This can come in handy if you do not wish to view an activity or have multiple activities going on in the background. Gesture for Dynamic Island were introduced with the release of iOS 16.1, and it's mainly focused on the swipe in and the swipe out gestures. The second one is checking your AirPod battery. AirPods will show up in your dynamic island each time you decide to connect them to your device. They'll show up with a small animation that appears in your dynamic island and will represent the exact image of the AirPods generation you own. The image will show up to the left of your dynamic island, while the current battery levels will show up on the right-hand side. Battery level will be indicated by a circular indicator, which will be filled with green depending on the current battery life of your AirPods. The third tip is where you can track your AirDrop transfer status. AirDrop file transfers are a great way to transfer files between Apple devices. With iPhone 14 Pro and the Pro Max, you can now use Dynamic Island to track AirDrop transfers, especially for the files that are being sent to your iPhone. So simply tap and hold onto the transfer once it shows up on your Dynamic Island to view the progress of the file transfer. AirDrop transfers are represented by the AirDrop icon to the left of your Dynamic Island and a progress circle to the right of your Dynamic Island. Now the fourth tip is to dismiss incoming calls or to hide the caller's photo profile. If you've been using your new iPhone for a while, you might have noticed that now the incoming call banner notification appears in the dynamic island whenever you're using your iPhone. This is quite useful as calls don't interrupt your workflow and don't require you to switch apps to receive or dismiss calls anymore. Simply swipe up on the notification to dismiss it to your dynamic island. Now to hide the profile photo, just swipe down and that will hide the profile photo of that person who is calling you, and it will replace it by a picture of a phone. The fifth tip is to stop screen recording easily. With Dynamic Island, screen recording has improved on the iPhone 14 Pro and the Pro Max. Dynamic Island now shows a static icon at the top to help you identify when your screen is being recorded. To stop, simply tap and then hold on to your dynamic island, then tap on the stop icon to stop recording your screen. Now the sixth tip is to stop voice memo recording. Voice memos now has an improved interface which now shows up in the dynamic island. This can be really useful when triggering recordings using the control center, as you can record notes, ideas, and more without having to leave your current screen. Once you tap and hold on your dynamic island, you'll be shown more controls to stop your voice memo recording. Tapping on the stop icon will instantly stop your recording, and a white check mark will be shown to signify that your recording has been saved. Now the seventh tip is to get an animated pet for your dynamic island. Apps like Pixel Pal is built for this, where you can get yourself a pet which stays on your dynamic island. You can feed it, play with it, and also add more pets to it. The eighth tip is to track your live activities. Live activities have been the most exciting feature of iOS 16.1 and higher. They allow you to view updates for various features and activities in real life. So I've seen this being used on exercise apps or even maps. The ninth tip is to add app shortcut to your dynamic island. So with a third-party app called Lock Launcher, you can now have up to 5 shortcuts for your apps, settings, or shortcuts in your dynamic island. To access it, just hold and press the dynamic island and you'll see those shortcuts in the banner at the top. Just a note, this is a paid app, so you'll need to buy the Pro version in order to have the apps in your dynamic island. And finally, the 10th tip for Dynamic Island is for all you music lovers out there. If you listen to Spotify or Apple Music, your music control will be shown on the Dynamic Island. If you hold and press on it, you can control your music from there too. This is great if you're doing something else and the controls are right above the screen. So those were the 10 cool tips to use on your Dynamic Island on your iPhone 14 Pro or the Pro Max. If this video is helpful, then please subscribe to see more videos like this. If you have any other questions, then please do let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.